welcome back to my channel, Falling Over Books. For today's video, I'm going to talk about a couple of books that are popular that I don't really like. So none of these books are books that I absolutely hate. I think there's maybe like 2 books that I've read in my life that I absolutely hate, but other books I'm just kind of like, I don't really like it, or I just don't care. And these books are just some popular books that I feel that way. Like, I just don't care about them. I don't understand the hype. I just, that kind of stuff. So I only have about 4 or 5 to show you. It's not very many, so this video might be short. But I just wanted to share a few. The first one is one that you've probably seen me unhaul already. I haven't gotten rid of it yet, but that is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I read this shortly after like all of the hype started. And it was like described as like this Hunger Games, the Hunger Games and Game of Thrones. So it's like, oh my god, this is like sounds interesting. I just didn't like understand anything in this book. I think it was so misled because I thought like it's a dystopian, but it's more like a sci-fi. It takes place on like another planet or something, which I didn't even know. So I just felt like I was misleaded when I read this, so I was very confused, and which maybe made me not like the book, but I just don't really get the hype. I mean, the writing wasn't bad, but I guess like since it's the first book in a series, it has like a lot of world building to it, and I think maybe I was just like bored with that. I was just like, I don't know. Let me know if you've read this series and what you think of it. Next is a popular romance series, which I read this first book, and that is Spotless by S.C. Stevens. This is kind of one of the one of the most famous romance books, like with 50 Shades of Grey. Why did I say that weird? 50 Shades of Grey. This Man trilogy by Jodi Ellen Lopez. And then there's Thoughtless. And then there's, Bare to You by Sylvia Day. Gabriel's Inferno. Like, it's kind of with those books, like this is considered like, that popular. And so I was like excited to read this, but it has a love triangle, which I didn't really think it would be like a big deal, but kind of is. And I just didn't like this book, which is so not me. Like, I usually love all of the romance books, but this to me was just not my cup of tea. I couldn't stand Kellen, is that his name? I did not like him as like a love interest. So I mean, the point of romance books is for you to love the male love interest, and if you don't, I mean, why are you reading that book? I don't know why I continued, but I kept the book, and I don't know, I feel like I may reread it in the future, but yeah, this is probably like not a romance book that I would recommend. I just didn't like it. Next popular book that I didn't really like is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I feel like a lot of people don't like this, but a lot of people who do have very, very strong opinions as to why they like it, which I think is great. Again, it's probably because I'm not the biggest fantasy reader, and this being like a big fantasy book, I understood the appeal, and I understood, like, there were parts of this book I did like, but I found it very, very slow, and I hear like the next book picks up or something, but this I was really disappointed in, but that's probably my own fault. Also because like this was optioned as a movie like even before the book came out, and so I was like expecting this like grand like adventurous thing, and it was just kind of really slow. So I was like, like I don't really get why. I mean, I think it would make a great movie, and I probably would see the movie if they ever make it, but I don't know. Another one is a really popular one. Illuminati by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So I read this maybe a couple months after it came out because I wasn't sure if I wanted to read it, and everybody was saying, oh my god, it's so amazing, it's so amazing. Like, I know there were ARCs released like way before the book came out, and people didn't really start reading it till when it came out, and then everybody was obsessed with this. And I read it and I was like, I don't really get it. I don't know. I know a lot of people listen to the audiobook while reading, and that enhanced their love for the book, and like it was easier for them to follow along. I just read this by myself, so I don't necessarily feel like I understood everything that happened, because I was just like, oh, am I supposed to read this part? Like, I just felt like it was very confusing, hard to decide like what you need to read and what you don't read, and I don't know. I mean, it's a really cool concept, and for that I did like appreciate that it was something new and different. But I mean, for someone who, I mean, I would say I'm kind of a simple reader, so a lot of things confuse me very, very easily, and this I probably would not recommend to people who are like, you know, who get confused very fast. But if you do love sci-fi and like weird, interesting books, then I do recommend it, because you'll probably love it. And maybe try the audiobook, I don't know. The next book I didn't really like is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I read this book literally before the movie came out, maybe like in the spring, and then the movie came out in like the summer or the fall, something like that, and I just didn't like the book. I don't know, I was a lot older when I read the book, so I didn't really have, I don't know, like the same thoughts, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it was just not for me. I don't know, I just didn't really like it. It wasn't, I thought the writing style was interesting. I liked how it was like journal entries or like diary entries. I really liked that. I think that was one of the first books that I read that was like that, and I enjoyed that. But I didn't really like the character, which makes me like seem so mean. Like, I feel like I'm mean when I say I didn't like the character, because Charlie, that's his name, right? Charlie? I think so. He was like a really sweet and soft-hearted person, but I just didn't really like him as a character. I don't know. I didn't like reading from his point of view, I guess, and maybe that's why I just didn't like the book. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just didn't like it. Yeah, so those are all the 5, right? I had 5 books to share with you guys, that popular books that I didn't really like or just dislike, I don't know, or that I feel very indifferent from. But yeah, let me know some of the books that you read that are popular, or just books in general, that you maybe were disappointed by or just didn't understand why everybody loved it. Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always curious. When I was making up this list, I had a really, really hard time finding popular YA books that I didn't like, because I actually like all of the popular YA books. I don't know, when I first started reading, I read all of those books. So to me, I just really like them, or I have like more of an emotional attachment to them. So I feel like I can't put them on this list because I liked all of them. So that's why it's just popular books, not popular YA, because I don't have enough popular YA books that I don't like. I pretty much like them all, so yeah, I'm not a picky reader in any way. But yes, so that is it for today's video. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I also have another channel, by the way, if you did not know. and I'll leave that link down below. It's like a beauty channel slash vlog channel, so please go check that one out and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.